Hey, this is Ash Topham, and thanks for checking out this case study. Today, we are chatting with my client, Julie. We've been working together for 8 or so weeks. This is how Julie, I guess, doubled her revenue, went from booking just based on referrals from 4 referrals, getting 4 sessions a month to getting over 10 with consistent leads coming in every week. So keep watching and you'll learn more about Julie and how she took that progression and transitioned into that next step into her business, where this month she has broken through that goal of $20,000 in sales. Thanks for watching.
My name is Julie. I'm a portrait photographer just outside of Washington, D.C. And I do studio photography. I'm a home-based business and I have a studio in my home. And I work primarily with portraiture, a few different genres. I work with families, business people, maternity, and that's essentially what I do.
And can you explain, I know we've spoken about this, but the problem you had prior to signing up and working with me?
So the problem that I had prior to working with you was that I had several problems. One is that I wanted and needed somebody else to manage the Facebook ads for me, not attempt to educate me to do the Facebook ads myself. Not that, that's not great knowledge to have, but at that time, and what I needed was somebody to handle that for me. And I was having a really challenging time either finding somebody who, understood what I needed, and how that translated to my business, or just finding somebody qualified who really just understood what I was looking for and what I needed, and was able to just hit the ground running and execute. Which was, after our first conversation, I felt this immediate confidence because I had several conversations with people prior to meeting you where they asked me a ton of questions. We talked at length. They told me things, and I left those conversations having no idea whatsoever what they were talking about, not understanding at all, do they even know what I want? And as soon as you and I spoke, it was like, yep, I get it. Okay. You didn't have to spend, hours and hours kind of, talking about generalizations of things. It was just right down to, okay, here's how we're going to execute this. And that's what I needed. Somebody that could just take that and go with it.
Yeah. And you had tried to do Facebook ads in the past?
Yes. I had tried to do Facebook ads with very little to zero success. I had a lot of trouble with the technical aspects. I got hung up, with the Facebook pixel and with several things that had to do with specific to my browser or my web hosting company. And, every time I tried to address it, I felt like my head was going to explode. And I just needed to have somebody who this is their area of expertise handle that.
Yeah. And was there anything in particular that we've done together that has, you felt has really helped you in your business?
Oh, absolutely. This is the first time, I feel like I've actually had a real cheerleader, even somebody really pushing me. I also, up until this point, I've really not had somebody giving me, action items. I like the fact that you'll say, I need this, and this. I can execute with that if I know what we need. So, that's been really, really helpful. But also just having somebody, you know, encouraging me and saying like, you're doing a great job, like we're on a good track. But also being pragmatic and saying, okay, like I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, let's talk. Maybe we need to adjust something. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it wouldn't be, it wouldn't serve me well if you were just cheerleading for me and not also saying, you know, let's refine in these ways. But just having that, you know, that support has made like a huge difference in like me just, again, I feel like it has started this huge domino effect of like, you know, every, you know, new client that books, every new session I shoot, like it's just building this like wave of confidence and success that's like, honestly, this month it's been like a tsunami. Like I need a bigger tracking sheet. I never could have imagined. So I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, I know a lot of people when they start out with running ads and getting on the phone and stuff, there can be a lot of like, is this working? Self-doubt, you know, maybe thinking you're not getting the right leads. So how, you know, what would you say to people that, you know, are thinking about working with me or starting to run ads, but are kind of like doubtful or worried that, you know, it might not work?
I would say that, you know, starting a successful business or, you know, taking your business to the next level, whatever your goal is, it takes some bravery. It does. And there's a little bit of, you know, of that where, you know, you need to trust, just have some trust. And you might even have like a throw up moment or two because, you know, Facebook ads cost money and all of it is, it's work. But you will see a return on your investment. And I think not only will you see a return financially, but what I'm seeing, you know, I keep repeating the same idea, but that's really been impactful is not just, wow, you know, the revenue increase, it's the momentum that it's created. You know, I now have, you know, just more ability to market. I'm reaching more people, every person that comes in, like I'm, you know, it's really creating this like, you know, beautiful momentum of success. So I would say, you know, okay, yeah, you may, you know, it may be a little scary to invest in something, but I say go for it because it may really be the only thing holding you back from something you've been dreaming of. So do it.
And how were you getting business prior to running ads? Like how many people kind of were you booking and working with? Well, how many shoots were you having a month?
So I would say I was probably having, I mean, granted the pandemic made things a little bit difficult. But I would say maybe, you know, maybe 4 shoots, a month. And, you know, just nothing consistent. I wasn't getting any kind of consistent leads. I wasn't seeing diversity in, you know, where my clients are coming from, whether it be Instagram or Facebook or other sources. And so, yeah, I was probably booking, as far as like my bigger sessions, I was doing like smaller, quick headshot clients, but bigger sessions with the, you know, with clients were, you know, we're not booking consistently at all.
Yeah. And what about like now looking at like this month and next month? I know you have like, we'll have more leads coming in as well, but what's the estimated amount of shoots that you're booking now?
I have like, including some of my headshot clients, I have 45 active clients right now.
Yeah.
Active meaning between the stage of booked
Yeah.
and all the way through product fulfillment and finished. I have had, I'm gonna have to count how many shoots I've had this month. I don't even know. One,
Know your papers.
2, 3, 4. I mean, if I 5, 7, 8, 9, I'm gonna say 10 shoots this month.
Yeah.
But that's just like, my paper is very messy right now. I should probably know this information right off the top of my head. July is almost completely booked. I mean, my goal originally was 8 shoots a month, and I will probably settle it that soon. But because things with COVID, I'm trying to kind of bounce back, more. But July is pretty much completely booked, and I've already booked 3 shoots into August and 1 in September. So I would imagine that I'm going to be fully booked for the foreseeable future if things continue on this trajectory.
Yeah.
And what probably at least a couple of months out.
Yeah. And what do you think about, were you surprised that, I guess, in this like climate of, COVID and everything, and people, potentially have lost jobs? And then were you ever worried that we're starting to run ads that, maybe no one has any money to spend on things like this?
Yeah, I would say I wasn't so much worried that they didn't have money to spend on stuff like this, because I knew that other people were having huge success.
Yeah.
And that, that it was possible. I knew it was possible. But I didn't know it was possible for me, because I didn't know if I was going to find the right person who knew what they were doing, who could get me good leads, who could get not just that, but put systems in place for me. You put my calendaring system in place. I had nothing before that.
Yeah.
To give people the ability to book meetings with me. You also put MailChimp in place for me. So I had no kind of organized email list. I was not, taking any advantage of that. And I know we'll still be expanding more on that together. But just having, help with all of that also. It's just,
and you had tried to work with someone you have worked with someone in the past with ads and that sort of thing?
So I had signed up for something that I thought was managed ads, and it was really more like just an extremely expensive class, which was not, I'm capable of teaching myself, and I didn't want to invest the time. And really, it's just one of those areas that I just, is not my thing. But it also just, the information was just not, like they had some tutorial videos where you could watch and you're supposed to follow along, but yet it didn't look the same because Facebook changes every 2 minutes, right? So like they recorded their classes, I don't know, a year before. I mean, so like, they're like, just, it looks like this, click on this. Oh, it didn't look like that.
Yeah.
So for the people out there thinking about just taking a tutorial, don't forget that Facebook changes constantly.
Yeah.
And I don't know more than that. You do. And that's why you're the one doing it. You're the expert and I'm not. All I know is that I know enough to know I couldn't do it on my own. So I wound up, pretty unhappy from that situation, and still left with, now what do? I have to invest again. And, I could be taking a chance that doesn't, result. So it was a big, scary move.
Yeah.
And so I had tried that. I had tried it on my own, that didn't go well because I couldn't track anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't track anything, and it is, really important to have that tracking.
Yeah. And a result of like working together, what do you feel was the outcome?
Massive, crazy success.
And I guess what does that look
I
like?
feel like so it looks like it looks like a return on my investment, and the size of the return on the investment is in progress, but I feel like the potential is like massive, but it also looks like, again, this has like created like just like a rocket effect for my feelings of confidence and my just my my abilities in a lot of different ways, because again, talking to more people, doing more shoots, it's just created this ripple effect of positive things happening. So I feel like this has really finally launched me into what I've always envisioned. And it's finally becoming a reality. And I think if I keep with it consistently, then it will be a consistent reality. And it's hard work. It's a lot of work, and it's hard work, but it's incredibly great to see it paying off.
And I guess if we didn't work together, what would it look like right now for you?
Massive tears. Don't go. Yeah, I mean, I certainly would not be super thrilled, because it would be difficult I would want to find someone that does exactly what you do, how you do it. I like how we interact. So yeah, I would, be super sad. And I definitely think my business would feel it at some, point, because it is kind of cranking that machine right now, and it's keeping things really moving. So, so please don't go.
And last question, if there's anyone that's like sitting on the fence, about, potentially booking a call with me or wanting to work with me, and like thinking about like, is this the right move? And it's someone, that is a portrait photographer, what would you say to them?
I would say I 100% recommend Ash to manage your Facebook ads. She has was able to execute very quickly. We got the ads launched very quickly, got everything up and running. Again, I appreciated that, right off the bat, you were able to, like, I think our first call, give me action items, and we were able to start putting things into motion. And that was really important to me, because I needed to get moving yesterday. So if you're thinking about it, have your throw up moment and then do it, because it will pay off. It is scary, and you do need to give it a little bit of time to see the effectiveness. This is not an overnight solution. You need to be willing to work the system and what Ash guides you to work for several months, consistently, but you'll see huge results. So I say, go for it.
Because I haven't touched on it, what's your average sale kind of range from?
So I haven't actually looked at the numbers, because I don't have time, because I'm so busy from all the shoots we booked, right? However, I would guess that my average sale right now is probably sitting around 2,500, 2,500 maybe to 3,000.
And for the people that don't know, that is doing, I won't say what your session is, because it's a bit different, but it's similar to like 40 over 40. And
Yeah,
there is a
it's
session.
exactly the same.
Yeah, and there's a
Yeah,
session fee that people have to pay, and it's $350. Because I know I've seen a lot of people do this sort of campaign before, and it they don't charge a session fee, or maybe it's $99, or I have seen in the past that it looks kind of bait and switch, like people
yeah,
free. And then when they come in for the shoot, people are a bit surprised, like, oh, I have to pay.
yeah.
That's what we don't
I
want.
don't recommend that, but that's what you can address in your conversation when you have those leads calling you, and that is key, right? I mean, if the phone is not ringing, literally, then you need to get this going with Ash, because that will get the phone ringing, or get you the numbers to get the calls flowing. And then you can talk to people about what it costs. And I'm very upfront with my clients on the phone and letting them know, this is the session fee cost and this is what's included, but you're going to love your images. And so you should probably budget for, X amount. And that's, I go into that, but yeah, I definitely recommend it.